Hello, let's talk bonds, shall we? Now, don't let the name intimidate you. Bonds are really quite simple. Imagine lending a bit of money to a friend, the government, or even a big company. They promise to pay you back in full with a little something extra for your trouble. That, my friend, is a bond in a nutshell. Think of it as an IOU, but with a touch more glamour and significantly less awkwardness when it comes to collecting. You lend your money, they use it to build bridges, develop new products, or perhaps even just keep the lights on. And you? You get rewarded for your generosity. Now, wouldn't you like to know more about these fascinating financial instruments? First up, we have government bonds. You know how the government is always needing a bit of cash for roads, schools and hospitals? Well, they often borrow it by issuing bonds. It's like lending a helping hand to your country, and they'll even pay you interest for the privilege. These bonds are generally considered quite safe. After all, governments are usually good for their word. They're like that reliable friend who always pays you back on time. But remember, even the most reliable friend can have a bad day. Intrigued by the idea of lending a hand to your country? Let's delve a bit deeper, shall we? Next, we have corporate bonds. These are issued by companies, from the corner shop to those massive corporations you see on the telly. They use the money to expand their business, develop new products, or maybe just buy a fancy new coffee machine for the office. These bonds can be a bit riskier than government bonds because, well, companies aren't always as reliable as governments, are they? It's like lending money to that friend who always has a grand scheme but doesn't always deliver. But greater risk often comes with a greater potential reward. Interested in exploring the world of corporate bonds? Let's carry on, shall we? Last but not least, we have municipal bonds. These are issued by cities, towns, and local governments to fund projects that benefit the community, like parks, libraries, and those charming little bandstands you find in the park. These bonds are often tax-free, which is a rather lovely perk, wouldn't you say? It's like getting a little bonus just for being a responsible citizen. Who doesn't love a bonus? Ready to discover if municipal bonds are the perfect fit for you. Onwards and upwards. Section 5. The sweet smell of interest. Now, let's talk about interest. This is the something extra I mentioned earlier, the cherry on top of your bond sundae, if you will. When you buy a bond, you're essentially lending money, and just like any good lender, you expect to be compensated for your generosity. This compensation comes in the form of interest payments, which are usually paid out regularly, like a little income stream. Think of it as your bond sending you a thank you card filled with cash every few months. How delightful. Section 6. Maturity, time for a payout. Every bond has a maturity date, which is essentially the date when your loan is up and it's time for your friend to pay you back in full. This is when you get your original investment back, along with any outstanding interest payments. It's like the end of a lovely dinner party when it's time to say your goodbyes and collect your coat. And just like a good dinner party, you leave with a warm feeling, and in this case, a little richer. Section 7. Who can invest more than you think? Now, you might be thinking bonds sound awfully complicated. Are they only for those terribly serious finance types? And to that I say, absolutely not. Anyone can invest in bonds, from seasoned investors to those just dipping their toes into the world of finance. It's like choosing a bottle of wine. There's something out there for everyone, no matter your taste or budget. Section 8. Bond jargon decoded. No need for a dictionary. Now, I know what you're thinking. You mentioned something about yields and coupons. Are we talking about gardening now? Don't worry, I wouldn't dream of it. Let's demystify this bond jargon, shall we? Yield is just a fancy word for the return you can expect on your bond investment. It's like checking the alcohol content on a bottle of wine. The higher the yield, the more kick you get for your investment. And coupon? That's just the interest rate the bond pays. Think of it as the flavour of your wine. Some prefer a bold Cabernet, others a delicate Sauvignon Blanc. Section 9. Bonds. A cuppa in your investment portfolio. So there you have it. Bonds may seem a bit mysterious at first, but once you get to know them, they're really quite approachable. They're like that charming gentleman at the party, reliable, dependable, and always up for a good time. Well, financially speaking, of course. Adding bonds to your investment portfolio is like adding a splash of milk to your cuppa. It smooths things out and adds a touch of stability. So why not give them a try? You might just find that you're a bond enthusiast in the making. Remember, knowledge is power, and now you're armed and dangerous in the world of bonds. Now go forth and conquer the financial world. Have you invested in bonds? Let us know in the comments below.